Hi, everyone. Welcome.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to the podcast. So good to have you guys here, as always. Oh, and we should say, with this awesome background music, we should have made it like spooky because today is the first day of October. Oh my God. I'm scared just because.
I'm excited. Did you know that there are 2 full moons this October?
What? That's got to be a record. Oh.
It doesn't happen very often, so it's pretty special.
There was one last night, and then there'll be one. Is it going to be on Halloween?
I think it is. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Spooky, scary.
Thankfully, there's probably going to be no trick-or-treating this year.
Thankfully.
It'd be too scary.
Oh.
My kids, I think we're going to pick some houses out and then just go, so they'll only go to like 12 houses, but they'll be our friends and all that stuff. So
that's smart. I also saw this idea where you attach candy to like how people used to put a fork in people, they put plastic forks in someone's yard as like a prank. And instead of doing that as like a prank, you attach candy to it and put it all in your yard so that kids can come and take a piece of candy. But I would totally be that kid that just takes all the candy. So
I know, that's so smart. I wish there should be really creative ways to get around it. But I think it will probably be a city ordinance. Like Linwood will have certain rules and Everett. I don't know. Maybe it'll just be a state thing. I guess we'll find out. And by the way, kids, this is an important message to you. Just because you're in middle school, you're not too old to trick or treat. Don't ever feel like that. I love it. I don't care. You could be 30 and come to my house to trick or treat, and I'm super happy. So
it's a little bit weird, but
I don't think. Yeah. Okay. I mean, if you're just like one guy who's 30 that shows up, maybe.
Yeah.
Like if it's a group of people, I'm like, whatever.
You middle schoolers definitely can still trick or treat. Please. And who doesn't love candy?
That's right.
Dentists.
Yeah, and I also feel like too. Tell me what you think about this, Miss Henson. Like now with it's October, you guys have a full month of remote schooling under your belt. You've made it through the first month, and this is really tough. But look at how far you've come so far.
You guys are virtual learners.
The learning of the 21st century. I hope you guys feel too, because we've been talking with students, and some of you might feel like it's been hard to log into classes the first month and you missed out on so much and you might feel like giving up, but don't do it. We're meeting with students all the time that just for whatever reason, and most of the time it's not even their fault, they've been having problems logging in, and that feeling like, okay, now we're in October, I've missed so much. Is it worth it? It absolutely is. Keep logging in, keep attending your classes and doing what you need to do, because it's making a huge difference for you academically, for sure.
In the wise words of someone who I admire very much, we started from the bottom, now we're here. We started from the bottom.
Oh my God. Who is?
Now we're all here.
Who is that?
Drake.
Who is that? I have a guess, but I don't.
It's Drake.
Okay, yeah. Okay. That's right. I have a running joke with a lot of my students. So if you're in 8th grade, you've probably heard me say, if you're like, play any music for me at all, I just go, is that Drake? I think that's Drake, right? Because I'm so bad at knowing like what but I know who Drake is. So there you go. But he's like 30 now, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I actually don't know how old he is, but his music's cool.
Drake, if you subscribe to this podcast, you can come trick-or-treating at my house. I'm cool with it. All right, enough of this funniness. We have a very special guest. You guys are all tuned in to hear Mrs. Wright's review for some of the books that she recommends for you students. So without any further ado, everyone, round of applause for Mrs. Wright.
Miss Wright, Miss Wright, Miss Wright.
So I want to be the first person on the podcast that is on teamwork today to be able to say teamwork makes the dream work, because I knew if I didn't say it, somebody else would have beaten me to it, and it's just something old people say. Okay, so I wanted to do a couple of books that have teamwork in them, and I don't care who you are, you cannot do it alone. Nobody does it alone. I don't do it alone. Miss Henson does not do it alone. Nobody does it alone. And so these books kind of show that. So remember, at Alderwood, your library is always open for curbside pickup, or you can go and get and audiobooks. The first book is called Dairy Queen. And Dairy Queen is about a sports team, that kind of teamwork. And it's really cool because DJ is a girl who lives on a farm, and she wants to be a football player. So she needs to figure out how to convince her father, who's a real sports guy, and her brothers that she wants to be part of this really cool team. It is a great book, girl power, sports, it's got it all. Another team is the military. And this book is called Allies, and it's by Alan Gratz. A lot of you have read the book Refugee. In wartime, you need a team. And this is about 2 American soldiers and a soldier from, or a woman from France, and how they join forces as a team to defeat the Nazis. So this is Allies by Alan Gratz. And finally, I have a team of books about a team. And this is the fabulous Jason Reynolds and Ghost, Patina, and Sunny. And there's one more Lou, about 4 kids. And the title of the book would be the kids' names. And they're on an elite track team. And you get in these books every member of the team's story. So a team of books about a team. So just like in the world, you can't do it without a team. You can also read about teams. Yes.
Go team.
Go team.
That's cool. Hey, what's the ghost book about? Is that scary?
It is not. So the boy's nickname is Ghost, and he's had this was the first book in the series, and he's had a pretty tough life. Nobody writes as well as Jason Reynolds, and your viewers know that. They've read something by Jason Reynolds. Anyway, but he tells the story of Ghost, who is called to join this team. So it's scary because of some of the things Ghost has been through, but Ghost is not a Halloween book. So Mr. Webb, you don't have to be worried or scared.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you'll be okay.
Cool. Yeah, I know since we're getting into October, you might review some scary books in the future, but hopefully when you do, you could bring like a couple, like this one is scary on a scale of 1 to 10 at like a 1 or a 2. This one's a 5, but this one's like an 8,
Exactly. Not everybody likes scary books. And there is in your advisory class, we have a scary writing contest. So I have some books picked out for the month of October. So make sure to check that out in your advisory. Hopefully your teachers will be showing you the video and the page on Monday. But if you think you can scare me, I'm pretty unscarable, but I'd love for you to try. So look at that contest.
Oh my gosh.
Scary writing contest, scary drawing contest about a scary book. So scary, scary, scary.
Whoa. I'm really excited about that.
I know.
So students write in a scary story and send it to you?
No, they're reviewing a scary book, and they can either do it with art or with their words.
Gotcha.
And they want to read these reviews.
So it's not a fan fiction of a book. It's just their review of. So they're doing like what you're doing now almost.
Yeah, they are capturing that book and trying to scare all of us. And then hopefully other people who like scary books get some good reading recommendations too. Because scary is not just for October. Some of us like scary year round.
That's true. I feel like that helped me get into books a lot because I always liked scary stuff when I was in elementary school. So when they had like the scholastic days where you can come in and earn.
You bought all the Goosebumps books, didn't you?
Totally.
And
yes,
Stephen, you were an early reader of Stephen King, weren't you?
I feel like you've known me. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. There are always the Stephen King readers in middle school, and they're kind of violent, but I do have a few of them.
The books, not the kids.
Right. The kids are not violent. The books are violent. And I always, you know what's in here, right? Yeah, my mom buys them for me. So
Okay.
yeah.
Check
Yeah.
with your parents first, kids.
Right. Right.
That's cool. Well, thank you, Mrs. Wright. Like as always, very helpful to hear about the books we should be checking out, and kids keep reading because it's super important for your brain.
And it's okay to be you need to be part of a team, whatever your team looks like. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Miss Wright.
Thanks, Miss Wright.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right.
Sorry, you.
There she goes. Okay, cool. So as you could probably guess, we're going to move on to our next segment, and it's actually about teamwork. So we're very, very excited. So you guys know me and Miss Henson are your counselors. We have a great counseling team. We have Jessica and Phil. Jessica and Phil, you want to say hi really quick? Let students know you're out there. Jessica, why don't you go
What's up,
first?
everyone?
Hi, how are you guys? Hope you guys are doing well.
Yeah, for sure. You've probably some of you might have already started getting emails or phone calls from Mr. Phil or Miss Jessica to check in with you, and we've even done some home visits. So maybe you've seen one of us outside your door knocking, asking you about help for Canvas or whatever. So expect to hear from us. We're a great counseling team, but today on the podcast, we're really excited to introduce some more support staff that we work with. And I'll say, kids, I've worked at a bunch of different schools, and this is one of the coolest, tightest, strongest, smartest teams I've ever seen, ever, or heard about anywhere. Wouldn't you say so, Miss Henson? I don't know.
Oh, absolutely.
Miss Henson, though, is from Shoreline, and Shoreline has good teams too, I hear.
Shoreline does have good teams, but I will tell you, I really, really enjoy working with this team, and I've worked with really great teams.
So you are a team expert, so you know. So
I
yes.
know a thing or two about teams.
Awesome. Well, we want to introduce you to our full team, and these are probably some staff that you've worked with or met at some point, but we're going to go ahead and let them in. And I want to welcome some very special guests, and it's three awesome staff from Alderwood Middle School. It's Miss Melissa Foss, our student support advocate.
Say hi so we can see you.
Yeah. Nobody can see you unless you talk.
Oh, hi. Hello, everyone.
Miss Foss. We also have Miss Gaska. Hi, Miss Gaska.
Hi.
And then Miss Hagan.
Hi, everybody.
We are so stoked to have you guys. This is your Alderwood Middle School support team, and we do a bunch of different services for students to engage them, to help them, to support them. And you guys didn't hear, but we were just raving about how awesome and strong our team is at Alderwood. I wouldn't, if I had friends that had middle school age kids, I'd be like, send them to Alderwood because our team is awesome. But we want to go through a second and have you guys introduce yourselves. Give a shout out to the students that are watching, and maybe explain a little bit about yourself. So I was actually looking who do I pick first to go? And I noticed that your guys's last names are synchronous alphabetical. So A, B, C, D, E, F for Foss, G for Gaska, and H for Hagan. So E, F, G, Foss, Gaska, Hagan. So it works perfectly. So usually I'll throw it to Melissa first, I think. So Melissa, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself and what are some of the cool things that you do working with students at Alderwood?
Okay. Hi, everybody. Yes, I'm Miss Foss, and I am the student support advocate at Alderwood. So what does that mean? A lot of people don't know what that means. So basically, I can kind of help students with any supports that they need, and including family needs. So I can provide resources for families. If you need any financial resources, if you need school supplies, maybe you weren't able to get PE clothes, which isn't happening this year. And then I act sort of as a counselor as well. Like my door is always open for students to come in and talk to me. I am currently at Seattle U getting my master's in school counseling. So that's something that I'm looking forward to getting completed, and then I'll be able to be an official counselor. But yeah.
Have you had any classes with Phil yet? And what kind of student is Phil?
I have not. No, I have not had any classes with Phil. He is a
Okay.
year ahead of me. So yeah.
Also important, you've got a little friend in the background.
Oh, yeah. This is one of my naked cats, which are very important, and you will see them in many pictures in my office if we're ever in person again. But this is Wyatt, and then he has an older brother named Sterling who is also naked, but he is gray instead of pink.
Is
So
your
it looks like he's going to hang out.
is your cat evil?
No, he's not evil. He's very sweet. He's a very sweet little boy.
That's an
All
old
right.
reference from a old movie that you can ask your grandparents about.
I just couldn't stop looking at your cat while you were talking, so
Yeah, he
Wyatt
steals the
needed to be
show.
acknowledged.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Foss. Hey, and Tracy, Melissa, Kate, feel free to unmute yourselves. It's okay. It won't overload the system. And feel free to like jump in and talk about each other or make a joke or whatever. Go for it. Anyways, so Miss Tracy, go ahead and introduce yourself. We stole you from Bellevue School District, and it was the best thing we've ever stolen from Bellevue, I think.
Hi, everybody. So I'm Miss Tracy Gasca. You can just call me Miss Tracy. I feel really old when people call me by my last name. I don't know why. I'm just not used to it. I might mute myself because I have a bird that is very, very loud sometimes. And then I don't know if you can hear my dog, but he's like eating. And so like you can kind of hear him. Okay, I can hear him.
Well, you know what? You do bring up a point, because if your bird's making noise, Miss Foss's cat might freak out and try to get it. Like, where's the bird?
He might try to attack the screen. Who knows?
Yeah, he's usually louder in the mornings, and it's a little bit annoying. But people are like, "What is that?" And it's usually just my bird. But so I am the college and career readiness specialist. So what I do is, for all the 8th graders that are watching, you maybe remember me last year talking to the current 8th graders of last year about the College Bound Scholarship. So for 7th and 8th graders, I'll kind of be sending out videos on what the College Bound Scholarship is. And I'm kind of just here to help you learn more about different pathways that you can take once you enter high school. If you want to go to college after that, if you want to play sports, if you just want to get a job right after graduating high school. I know it might seem like it's very far away, but trust me, like high school kind of just flies by. And so this is the time when you can kind of start asking the correct questions, figuring out, what do I need to know to be a good student? And that's kind of what I'm here for. So we'll also be doing guest speakers and bringing in people to kind of talk to them about their jobs. And we'll be doing a big career fair. So if we were in our building, this would happen in person and you would see them in your classroom and do an activity with them. This year, it's going to be a little bit different. Most of it's going to be on Zoom, but depending on where we're at towards the end of the year, maybe we'll be able to do some fun stuff. So that's me. I'm here to answer your questions and kind of help you be a better student. So yeah. And I also speak Spanish. So yes.
Oh, hey. Oh, man, that's going to be really helpful for sure.
Yeah.
Do you, how much do you want to talk about College Bound Scholarship? I mean, it's really important that students know about that now, and you have a captive audience.
Yeah, so the College Bound Scholarship is really cool. It's a scholarship available to any student in the state of Washington. Basically means that you need to graduate from a Washington State high school. You can't get in any trouble with the law, so make sure you go to school so you don't get in trouble. Other than that, you have to qualify with your family income, and so there's paperwork and information, and I'll be doing presentations about it. The only catch to it is that you have to apply for it before the end of your 8th grade school year. So 8th graders, you'll be learning more about this because this is your last year to register, and then 7th graders, next year will be kind of the year where I'm really bugging you about it so that you can sign up. So maybe you've gotten some stuff in the mail. If not, then you'll get some information from me. But if you have more questions about that, I can definitely give you more information.
So that's really interesting. It's like free money for college. Like, we're going to give you tens of thousands of dollars, but you have to decide in 8th grade and declare that you want to go to college. Why do you think they did that? Why did they make that rule? Like, why can't it be 9th grade? Like, I think I have an idea. I'm just curious. Like, why do you think they did that?
Yeah, I think it's definitely, like I said earlier, a good way for us to kind of make sure that you know what you want to do, right? So in middle school, it's, a little different because now you have 6 classes and you have all these different teachers, and now you're playing sports and maybe you're, part of a club, and there's a lot to kind of balance. And so the important thing is for you to know that if you want to go to college, if you want to go to a trade school or community college, you can do that. We want to make sure that we're giving you the correct tools. So what happens when you decide in 8th grade, okay, I want to sign up for this scholarship, is that every year during your high school years, you'll be invited to really cool events, right? Like, what to do your 9th grade year to make sure that you're on your way to wherever that your goal is, right? If you want to go to a trade school, what are your options? If you want to go to a 4-year, what are your options? And then in 10th grade, the same thing. You'll kind of touch base again and get more information on what you have to do then. Your junior and senior year, you'll learn even more information about how do I actually apply. And so it's really important for you to kind of always think ahead and figure out, what am I going to do today that's going to help my future self? And so I think that's why it's really important for you guys to ask all the correct questions and learn more about things like College Bound.
That's brilliant. That's really great. That's really important information, kids. And that's why we're so lucky to have your position at our school, I think, because sometimes students never think about going to college because maybe their parents didn't go. So they've never seen it modeled. They've never seen like, oh, this person's gone to college, so now I think I can go to college. And then maybe they never seen that. Or they think, but I can't pay for it. Like, I'd like to go, but how am I going to pay for that? And you help with both those things. You're like, here are some presenters, maybe a job that you might want to do. And students might see that and say, oh my gosh, so if I go to school and even a 2-year program, I can do this type of work that's really exciting. So you help them kind of see their goals and attain them. And one of the things that's really important, kids, I think the reason that they do this program where you have to sign up in middle school and it's too late for high school is because if you identify right now when you're in middle school that you want to go on and you want to pursue a career and do that through school and through college, it helps you pass school in high school. Because when you get to high school, you're like, this is why I'm working so hard, because I have something at the end of this 4-year road to do and pursue. But you have to identify, and it's so important you do it now.
Yeah, and you made a really good point, right? Like, I was a College Bound scholarship, and I kind of remember my teacher signing me up in middle school, and I kind of remember things early in high school. But it wasn't until my senior year that I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot that I actually had money to go to college, because I was the first person in my family to go. So I had no idea, like, how much it was going to cost, like where was I even going to go to school, what did it even mean to, when people were asking me like, did you finish your application? I didn't understand any of that. And so because I was college bound, people were able to help me with those things, and now that's why I also like to work with people to help them kind of learn about things, because I also didn't understand it. I had no idea like what any of that meant when I was in middle school.
Students, you're so lucky. You have all these helpful people to help you with your goals and your dreams. So thank you, Miss Tracy, for sharing that information. All right. Next up, and I should say last but not least, but it's alphabetical. Next up alphabetically is Miss Hagan. So you've probably seen Miss Hagan around if you're an 8th grader, but Miss Hagan, please introduce yourself. Say hi to everyone.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for letting me join the pod this week. I've always wanted to say that.
Miss Henson came up with that.
This is my very first podcast, so I'm hoping this will be just the beginning.
Well, don't mess up, okay?
Yeah, everything's on the line right now. So I'm Miss Hagan. My official title is Student Intervention Coordinator. That's just a fancy way of saying that I help you guys, students, with all sorts of issues around conflict. So if you are having an issue or feeling upset with another student, or if you have friends that are, having issues with other friends, I'd be someone that you can come to and talk about those things and problem solve around. I would, depending on the situation, would be someone who can talk you through those things, to talk with your friends about issues around conflict, and maybe facilitate a conversation around that in like a larger group. I'm also someone that can talk to you about issues that you might be having with teachers, because it's not always, just students and students. It's, we're all working together, and conflict is normal. Like, it's inevitable that not everyone's going to get along all the time. And so those conflict issues come up for the rest of your life. And so my job is really around problem solving and developing some like solutions proactively that might help in middle school, but also, as you get older too. So I also am someone you would probably chat with if, I'm not saying anybody listening to the pod would do this, but if you were goofing off and things got out of hand in class or in the halls or whatever, I would be probably someone you would be talking to about solutions. Like, again, things happen, but where can we go? Where can we go from here? Like, what can we do about it? So I'm also got an open door policy. I love talking to students about all sorts of things. And so I definitely don't limit myself to certain topics or subjects. I would love to talk to kids about all sorts of things and support you guys in any way.
So by way of analogy, I'm wearing a shirt right now. It's some of my heroes, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they're heroes. They're good guys, but they get in fights sometime. They argue about pizza or what their plan is or their personalities. They get in fights. So then Splinter comes in and is like, wait, hold on a second. Let's work this out, guys. And that's kind of what you do. You're like the Splinter when the team is fighting or upset. You can come in and be like, all right, let's do this.
I don't know if I'm as skilled as Splinter, but
now you have your Halloween costume, Miss Hagen.
Yeah, I guess so.
What is it?
Splinter.
Your Halloween costume is Splinter? Oh.
It will have to be now.
I was like, imagine that.
That would be pretty cool. It might be. We'll see.
Okay, cool.
I'll let you know. Stay tuned.
We could all dress up as Ninja Turtles.
That'd be pretty fun.
Dibs on Donatello.
That would be awesome.
Hey, here's a question. Which Ninja Turtle would you be?
I always forget their names, but the purple one, because it's my favorite color.
I already called. That's Donatello.
It's okay. We can both be, or I can be the pizza.
I'll be Casey
that's cool.
Jones. You can be, yeah, okay. Melissa, what would you be, Miss Foss?
Michelangelo.
Yeah, I could see. I would totally guess that. Miss Henson, what about you?
Does that leave Leonardo?
Yes, the leader.
I don't know.
I can see that kind of
Phil,
I only said Michelangelo because that's the only name I knew. So I don't know anything
he's the
about
party
him.
dude, though. You're the party of our team. You're
I'm
the
not.
party. You're the party
No.
dude. Yes.
Maybe Miss Henson, do you want to be Michelangelo and I'll be Leonardo? You can be the party? Okay, perfect.
I do.
I'm Leonardo.
Okay, fine. I'm just saying, from someone who really knows the Ninja Turtles, you are totally Michelangelo personality, and Miss Henson's totally Leonardo personality. and Phil is Raphael, and Jessica is April O'Neil. So boom, there you go.
And Tracy, Miss Gasca is the pizza.
Be the pizza.
Now I need to watch the 90s version, that like live action kind of.
Oh yeah.
With the big suits. I should watch that again so I can know what you're talking about.
Dude, I'll send you, there's actually this podcast, go figure, about that movie and how it's like a quiet masterpiece. Like how it was totally underrated. And if you really go back and look about like how, like the themes and the how some things were dark, but then they triumph through it. And it's actually a brilliant movie, I think. Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Cool. Excellent. All right. So I want to just talk a little bit about, you guys were thinking about what things were like for you in middle school. Cause you're like, okay, well, sure. Thank you for helping me. And maybe I'll need help, but you guys were in middle school at one point in your life.
Right.
And you probably had some great experiences that you can relate to with students. But just alphabetically again, start with Miss Foss. What was Miss Foss like in middle school? And what was a memory you had?
Oh, wow. So honestly, middle school is weird, you guys. It's super weird. And I honestly, like, I knew this question was coming, and I was trying to think of a memory I have of middle school, and I literally have nothing. Like middle school has been blocked out of my memory, not because it was all bad, but like we're all going through so much, like changing from elementary to high school. It's like a weird transition period. And so it was really hard for me to come up with like any memory. The only thing I could think of was, that's kind of like an embarrassing memory, is I was in band, and I played the saxophone, and I was always late to the bus. And so one day I was running to the bus, and the bus driver didn't see me, but all the kids did. And I was running to the bus with my saxophone. My saxophone drops out of my case. My case flies open. My saxophone drops down. I still have the saxophone, and it has a giant dent in it. And then I pick up all my stuff. Everybody else goes on the bus. And then as I'm approaching the door to get on the bus driver closes the door and goes, because he didn't even see me. And everybody on the bus is laughing that I just dropped my stuff. So that's like the only memory I could conjure of middle school. But
That
yeah,
honestly
I really
sounds
don't remember.
like a scene from a TV show or movie or something.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. But that's the one memory I can think of.
Do you still practice your saxophone?
I wouldn't go as far as saying practice it now. Sometimes I bring it out to just like try to play it again, but
do you play the do 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 do?
I play hot cross buns. That's my go-to.
Okay, well that's your challenge then. Do 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 do. Okay. What's that song called? Is it Careless Whisper? It's Careless Whisper.
Yes. There was originally 80s, and then they did like a cool remake like in mid 2000s. So does it sound weird? So like when you play it with the dent, is it like
No,
that sounds normal to me.
It was just on the horn part of it. So the bottom part of it got bent, but it didn't affect the sound at all, luckily. So I could still play in 7th. I think I played in 7th and 8th grade. So
you should Zoom bomb Mr. Sullivan's jazz band class and just like start playing.
I also have a flute, which I know how to play. She's Coming Around the Mountain. That's the only song I know how to play.
That's definitely
so
that's the one.
Class playing just that on my flute.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I actually played the flute in middle school, but I don't have one anymore, and I don't think I'd be able to do anything with one if I did.
We just need to come to jazz band class everyone.
Yeah. I just like I love instruments. Like I didn't continue in high school, which I'm kind of bummed about, but I have like a keyboard, I have a saxophone, I have a flute, I have a guitar. I don't actually really play any of them, but I like instruments. So
that's cool. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
Excellent. And you like evil cats. No, I'm just kidding. So Miss Tracy, your turn. Please tell us about what was Miss Tracy like in middle school?
I've always been like all over the place in a good way, I guess. I was 8th grade class president. That was fun. That was really fun.
What was your campaign slogan?
I don't remember. I was trying to think, but I don't remember. I just know that I did that, and that was me. What else? Oh, really? I don't play sports now, but I played volleyball. I remember I tried out 7th grade and I didn't make it. And then I tried 8th grade and I made it, but then I hurt myself. So I only played like 2 games and I was really sad. What else?
Did you play volleyball in high school?
Did I what?
Play volleyball in high school?
No, I was not that athletic. I don't know how I managed to make the team in 8th grade, but I did. That's probably why I hurt myself, because I was not, very coordinated. But it's okay. I played 2 games and I got team pictures. Okay.
There you go.
Proof, right?
Count it.
I was also actually really, I was part of a club. I think it was called like Tech Girls or something. And I just remember that we used to go on really cool field trips. So we got to go to like a field trip at like Microsoft, where you went into like this future house and they had like all these cool like gadgets. So we did that. And then we went to like, we would like record videos and stuff So I middle school was kind of fun. I was also in marching band. I played the flute. And we went to Portland one year to like the flower parade. I don't know if it's the Rose Parade or something, but yeah, it was kind of fun. And I'm actually really good friends with two of my middle school friends to this day. So it's really fun.
That's great. That's rare. We were talking
Yeah.
about that last week on the podcast, how Miss Henson and our guest had friends from middle school, and
Mm-hmm.
they stuck, so some of the friendships you're building, guys, is really important and will stick with you. And sometimes, you get into conflicts with your friends and it's difficult to figure out. And luckily we have staff that will help you, and especially Miss Hagan is really good at that as well. But let's go over to Miss Hagan. Miss Hagan, I'm curious, were you in a lot of conflicts, or did you and now it's full circle, now you're helping kids, or what was middle school like for you?
So I kind of had a similar reaction to that question, like Miss Foss did. Like I kind of like tabled that in my brain and haven't revisited it for a while. I just see my little self as this weird, awkward middle school kid. I didn't get in fights or anything like that, but I just remember feeling so awkward all the time. Like, I just remember like carrying my big book bag around, trying to like stuff all my stuff in the locker. And it's just all coming back to me as soon as I started thinking about it. It just cracked me up. All I really remember from middle school is I played basketball for a while, and I really liked that. But I think the pressure was too much, so I couldn't continue. Because people are pretty serious when it comes to sports, especially when you get to like the high school part. And then I remember my middle school had like the best cookies ever. And we would like stand in line for basically our whole lunch period so that we could get these cookies. They were so good.
Was it Otis Spunkmeyer?
They were, and they came in like this, you got 2 of them and you put them in like a little paper bag, and they were warm and so good. I'm like, to this day, I don't think I've had a better cookie. It's so good. Anyways, that's what got me through most of my middle school days.
My high school did that. And that's such torture. You just like come out.
You can smell them.
Oh, the smell.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty much the best.
Right, advisory too. It's like, and then it just wafts out. And how are you going to control? You guys already have impulse control problems. Like, how are you going to not steal money to get cookies?
Yeah, no, that's a very specific memory I have about middle school. I also had, I was trying to think of an embarrassing moment in middle school, and I had a really hard time thinking about one, and then it just came to me last night. It was the very first day of 7th grade, and I got on the bus to go to middle school, already kind of nervous. And I was sitting there, we were driving to school, and I just looked around and I'm realizing these other students on the bus are like not my age. So they were all like older high school students. And so I had to like walk slowly, like shame, up to the front of the bus and say, excuse me, I don't belong here. And then the whole bus full of high school students escorted me to middle school, my very first day of 7th grade. And when I got off the bus, they all cheered for me.
That's amazing.
Yeah, thinking about it now, I was like, that's so sweet. But at the time, I was humiliated. It was the worst. But I think that's the case with a lot of memories in middle school or high school, even. Like, it's so bad at the time. It's so embarrassing. But like, years later, you can just laugh. It ends up being really funny. But that's definitely one that just occurred to me last night. That did happen. It all was uphill from there, or downhill from there. We're good.
That just sounds magical, like being dropped off and then all the other students see you escorted by a bus of high schoolers that are cheering, like who is this girl?
It was really funny.
She's got a crew that's just supporting her.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, it's probably pretty cool, but didn't feel that way at the time.
Did you go to school with those kids in high school, and did any of them recognize you?
I don't remember, probably, but I don't remember.
Got it.
I was one of those kids that's like, okay, that happened. I'm never going to talk about it again. I don't think I even told my friends about it. I was just
You know what's funny is I hate social media in so many ways. Like I've banned myself from social media the last 3 years, and I'm so much better for it. But that is like one positive thing where a lot of, because all three of you, Miss Tracy, Miss Foss, Miss Hagan, you guys all kind of said like, oh man, I don't know, I don't remember it so well. But I imagine, this generation of kids, when they're older, they're going to be able to look back on social media posts that they made and things that, and watch videos of them. Like your thing would probably be something that's viral.
Oh, I know. I'm like, it's totally true. Can you imagine that video? I'm very grateful. I could see the pros and cons to that. But for me personally, I'm grateful that I didn't have that recorded.
We should set that up virally, like for one of our students to just be dropped off by like a bunch of high schoolers. That would be so cool.
It would be like replaying your memory.
And Melissa Foss will be like next to you, like dropping her saxophone and then trying to play Careless Whisper.
Yeah, we can do it.
Man.
It'll be great.
The bus is like just a place that's ripe for all sorts of drama.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start hanging signs, Miss Tracy for 8th grade president.
Oh yes.
Just randomly. Yeah. Some students that watch the podcast will get it, like, oh, that's from the podcast. That's hilarious. That's cool. Okay. Well, do you guys have any more questions for each other? We have a game for you guys to play, but I just want to make sure there's no burning questions you have for one another.
Nope.
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we're such a tight team. We know everything about each other already, practically. Pretty cool. And it's funny too, like, I think we were talking about this last year, but like, just even thinking about, oh, we have to go into a staff meeting, we're going to meet with, the team. It's a meeting, but, everyone thinks of meetings, but we're like, yay, we get to go to a meeting. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bug will have that day. You guys
It's true.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So, having 3 guests is awesome, but it's even more awesome when we have 3 guests to do a competition. So we actually have a competition for the 3 of you, and we're going to test your knowledge and see who knows the most about. You guys ready? Drum roll. Brrr. Mr. Stewart Trivia.
Oh,
wow.
I'm going to lose.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Don't give up yet. Don't give up yet. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to ask you 10 lightning round questions about Mr. Stewart. We'll give you multiple choice. All of you guys get to pick one of the options. And then at the end of the round, whoever has the most points wins.
Who's keeping score?
Phil, intern. Phil the intern.
Phil the intern.
I got it.
Yep. Phil's on it. Okay. All right. You guys ready?
Are we saying them out loud or?
Yep. Everyone picks one, and Phil's going to keep the score.
Okay.
We're going to see who knows the most about our very beloved principal, Mr. Stewart. Okay. Number 1, first question. Mr. Stewart's favorite food. Is it Mexican food, Italian food, or cheeseburgers?
Cheeseburgers.
Burgers for sure. I love cheeseburgers.
I'm gonna say cheeseburgers too.
All right, we got everyone's answer. Cheeseburgers. Okay, ready? Mr. Stewart's favorite food is Mexican food.
Oh.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, we're tied, so it's all good.
All right, tied at 0. All right.
He's going to watch this later and be like, what's that?
Does he know we're playing a game about him?
He kind of knows. Phil and I drilled him on these earlier. Okay. All right. So number 1 was favorite food. Number 2, Mr. Stewart's favorite color. Mr. Stewart's favorite color. And feel free to play along at home, kids. Okay. Is maybe you can beat the team. We'll see. Okay. Favorite color. Is it the color red? Is it neon green? Or is it blue?
Red.
Blue.
Yeah, my gut was blue originally. I'm gonna say blue.
Red.
And what'd you say, Miss Tracy?
I said blue.
Okay. The answer is blue. I would have guessed red, to be fair, Miss Hagan, because it's the school color.
The school
Yeah.
color.
I
Red
was
threw
trying to
me
figure
off.
out what's in his office. Like, all I'm thinking about is like, what have I seen in his office?
I just think of him wearing like Mariners and Seahawks stuff all the time. And
yeah.
it's all blue, so it made,
Sure.
it made like, yeah.
And they say psychologically blue helps you feel calm. So I can catch that.
Isn't blue the most like often somebody's favorite color? Like it's a thing.
Oh, yeah.
I could see that.
I wouldn't be surprised. All right, number 3. Okay, Mr. Stewart's favorite ice cream flavor. Mr. Stewart's favorite ice cream player. Sorry, ice cream flavor, not player. Okay, is it A, cookies and cream, B, pralines and cream, or C, mint chocolate chip? That's from The Office. Mint chocolate chip.
Mint chocolate chip.
Mint chocolate chip.
What was the first choice?
Mine too.
Cookies and cream.
I'm going to
pralines
say
and cream,
cookies and cream.
or mint chocolate chip. So, okay, so 2 mint chocolate chips, and Miss Tracy has cookies and cream.
Mhm.
The answer is cookies and cream.
Oh,
Which is actually the best ice
okay.
cream flavor, in case anyone was wondering.
I actually prefer mint chocolate chip over cookies and cream.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
If I had to pick, I agree, but Rocky Road's the best. That's the answer. Anyways, okay, so good. Miss Tracy's in the lead. All right, number 4. What is Mr. Stewart's favorite football team besides Seattle? Is it the Chargers, the Green Bay Packers, or the Dallas Cowboys?
I want to say the Packers for some reason.
I don't even know where the Packers are from.
St.
Green
Louis.
Bay.
Green. But what state is that?
Wisconsin, right?
Okay.
Sounds right.
I'm going to go with Dallas Cowboys because I know where that is.
Okay, I'll go with the Chargers then. We'll just spread the field.
Okay, the answer. Brrr. Welcome back, Miss Hagan. It is the Packers.
Oh,
Good job. All right, number 5, halfway through. Okay, what high school sports did Mr. Stewart play? So there's 3 options, but of each option, there's 3 different sports. So let me read you the options, okay? So the first option, did Mr. Stewart play, number 1, did he play baseball, golf, and swimming? Baseball, golf, and swimming. Did he do tennis, basketball, and golf? Or did he do baseball, basketball, and football? I'll read that one more time. Option number 1, did he play, number 1, baseball, golf, and swimming? Number 2, tennis, basketball, and golf. Or number 3, baseball, basketball, and football. You can just say 1, 2, or 3. Go for it.
3.
Okay, number 3.
I'm going to say 3 as well.
I'm going to go 1.
All right, the answer. Good job, Ms. Foss. Number 1, he played and could put on his Letterman jacket, like officially played baseball, golf, and swimming. So,
Wow.
Good job, Miss Foss. That's very impressive.
so if he's coming after you in the water, good luck getting away from him. That's all I'm saying. Okay, number 6. If Mr. Stewart could join one band or music group, would it be the Rolling Stones, Pearl Jam, or the Billy Joel Band? Okay, I'll read it again. If Mr. Stewart could join one band or music group, would it be the Rolling Stones, Pearl Jam, or the Billy Joel Band?
I'm going to say the Rolling Stones.
Me too.
I can't see him being a Pearl Jam guy, but maybe I'll go. I want to say the first one too, Rolling Stones.
All right. So close. The answer is Pearl Jam.
Really? Wow.
Totally. He grew up in Seattle in the 90s.
Oh.
Yeah, but I don't know. I can't
80s?
picture
I don't
him
know.
listening to
I
Pearl
actually don't
Jam.
know.
I don't know.
Believe it or not, see, Phil can attest that this is true. I was actually shocked my mouth because honestly, if I could join one band, it would be Pearl Jam too. It was the first concert I ever went to, and we're pretty close in age, me and Mr. Stewart. So, I guess it had a big influence on us in middle school.
He didn't hesitate on that answer too. That was quick out of his mouth.
Yep, Pearl Jam.
Wow.
All right. Okay. Number 7. If Mr. Stewart could have the same superpower as someone from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so this is Marvel, not DC. If Mr. Stewart could have the superpower of one superhero, would it be Thor, Spider-Man, or Professor Xavier? Thor, Spider-Man, or Professor Xavier? And if you have questions about any of their superpowers, just let us know.
Yeah, who's the last one?
Thor.
Professor Xavier is the head of the X-Men. He started the school. He's kind of like the principal of the X-Men, and he's able to read people's minds, and he's able to control their minds and make them do things.
Whoa.
I like that one.
I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah.
All right. And you said Thor, Miss Tracy?
Yeah, I'm just gonna stick to Thor.
All right. The answer is Thor. He picked Thor.
Ah.
Yay!
Good job.
Does this mean I'm winning right now? Am I winning?
Yeah, Phil, let's give us an update here. What's the score count?
Yeah, so we have Miss Hagen got question 4 right. So she's got 1. She's on the board. We have Miss Foss with 2 questions correct. She had question 2 about the color and question 5 about the sports. And then Miss Tracy has 3 right. So she's in a commanding lead right now. 3 to 2 to 1.
Still anybody's game. Anybody can still win. All right. Oh, I'm getting nervous. This is just getting down to the wire. Okay.
I'm gonna put my game face on.
To get ready for this because I'm getting nervous. Okay, number 9. Wait, number 8. Okay, this is a tough one. If suddenly, by a freak emergency, Mr. Stewart had to replace Chris Rakedahl as state superintendent, what is the first thing that he would do in office? So instantly, just emergency powers, Mr. Stewart became state superintendent. What is the first thing that he would do in office? Would it be, number 1, fund more school-based mental health services? Number 2, would it be to create evidence-based SEL or social emotional learning standards? Or number 3, increase technology support for students? I'll read it one more time. Mr. Stewart, state superintendent, is he going to fund more school-based mental health services? Is he going to create evidence-based SEL standards? Or is he going to increase technology support?
I'm gonna go with technology just because I know that's been like a big thing right now. So maybe if he was gonna be, I'm just gonna go with technology.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with mental health.
Mental health. All right. Ms. Gaska?
I'm struggling, but I think I'm gonna pick technology as well.
Okay. All right. All good answers. And I wonder if we actually gave him the options if he would, but he actually said social emotional learning standards. And frankly, I kind of agree with him. I think it's really important for sure.
Yeah. Do you think he said that because he was talking to a counselor though?
Well,
Maybe.
you know, he might have said mental health services. Yeah, he could have said, yeah, we could have skewed the results. So I apologize for that.
They're all important.
Yeah.
I'd throw out the question, but you got it all wrong anyways. Okay, number 9. What is, so now we're not in school, we miss the school, there's things about the school that we really wish that we could go there and do, whether it's our favorite water fountain or just walking up our favorite staircase to look at the view. But what do you think is Mr. Stewart's favorite spot in the entire school besides anywhere in the office? Okay, so where is Mr. Stewart's favorite spot in the school that he's totally missing? Is it the Commons? Is it the library, or the 2600 flex area? Not to be random, but is it the Commons? Is it the library, or the 2600 flex area?
I gotta go with the Commons, even though the library is so beautiful. I think he probably just misses seeing everybody together, so the Commons.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Commons too.
I'm gonna go with 2600 flex area. Although I would be more inclined to say the 1600 flex area, but I'll go with the 2600 flex area.
What's special about 1600?
I just feel like maybe Mr. Friedel more, but I feel like they're constantly down in the 1600s. But
I agree with you. It's kind of a hot spot, right?
yeah, but there's something beautiful about being in the 16 or 2600s, looking down the hallway when all of the kids are in class, and it's just like a nice long hallway. You see the stairs, beautiful.
Oh, if only we get back this year. I hope we do. The answer is, good job, Miss Hagen. The Commons. Ooh. Oh, and Miss Tracy said Commons too, right?
Yeah.
All right, good. Okay, cool. Last one. Here we go. This is it. This is for
Buckle
all.
up.
Okay. If we had to change the mascot of our school from the Mustangs to another animal, what would it be? Would it be the Alderwood Owls? Would it be the Alderwood Dragons? Or would it be the Alderwood Titans? The owls, smart bird. The dragons, wise and powerful. Number 3, the Titans.
I'd say the Titans.
I'm gonna go owl.
I'll go dragons.
Oh, all different. Why'd you guys pick the ones you picked?
Dragons are cool.
That's true.
Owls are cool. That's my answer.
Fair.
I just picked Titans because I know he liked Thor, and I feel like it's in the same category.
There you go. Smart.
Oh, so intuitive. Okay. For the record, I would have picked the Owls, Miss Foss, just so you know, I would totally have picked the Owls. And Miss Hagen, my elementary school mascot was the Dragons, but the answer is the Titans. Good job, Miss.
Dang. Miss Tracy, you killed it.
Yes. What's my prize? I'm just kidding.
It's coffee. Sorry.
Oh my God! Yay! I love
If I knew we were playing for coffee.
Well, he said competition, and I was like, okay, I need to win.
It's on.
PSL. PSL. You guys know what PSL is?
Pumpkin spice latte.
Oh, gee. Okay. Miss Tracy's going to win every single trivia.
That's funny because the first thing that came to my mind was pretty sore loser. That's what I PSL.
Who's that?
Well, my brain is in coffee, and I actually was planning on getting a pumpkin spice latte today.
Worked at Starbucks for like 7 years, for a long time. And we used to make pumpkin spice chais all the time, like chai and pumpkin spice. But we called them PS I Love Yous because they just taste like a warm hug.
Oh, maybe I'll order that today.
Love
I've
that.
always wanted to work at a coffee shop.
Starbucks, they're always hiring.
You know, I've applied a few times and it just never happens for me when I was like younger in college. But I just thought it would be so cool to make people coffee. Like, here you go, here's your coffee.
Yeah, I worked at a coffee shop for a little bit, and I liked it. It was fun.
Was that your guys' first? That was my first job ever, was a barista at Northgate Mall.
Yeah.
That was your first? Wow.
Oh, actually, no. I worked in a mailroom before that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I worked at a restaurant, was my first job.
What kind
That's
of
cool.
restaurant?
I worked at a Mexican restaurant. Actually, no, that was my second one. The first one was like an Italian restaurant, and I would do the like phone orders.
That's
on
cool.
computer. And then I would just, I guess, be the hostess and just sit people. But that was pretty cool.
Yeah. A lot of these students, they're going to turn 14, and then you're just getting really close to your first job. So be thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, anything else you guys want to say before we go? That pretty much wraps up our time together. You guys have been wonderful guests. It's been great to hear just about you and how you work with students and how much you know about Mr. Stewart. It's really helpful too.
Now I know more.
Yeah.
Think about that.
I think I can speak for all of us that we miss seeing all of the students, and 7th graders. We're super sad that we're not getting to like see you and get to know you and make connections with you. So reach out if you need anything from any of us. We're more than happy to help.
Absolutely.
Ditto.
All right. With that, bye everyone.
Rock on, Mustangs.